Hello, welcome back to another social dilemma video. A lot of our social dilemma derive from the same source of problem. As highly evolved as we are as a species, many, if not all of us, are guilty of incapable of admitting that we are wrong on something. And that's how many of the social dilemma issues surface. Because many people believe something, whether they believe it because they heard it from something, they read it from somewhere, heard it on the news. But when and if they are confronted with facts and truth, instead of digesting the information to determine for themselves that what they thought was real or false, instead of go through that thought process, it is easier for them to dismiss whatever it was presented to them as factual or truth, because it's easier to do that than to admit that I was wrong. Very common, okay? People are so easily dismissive of any counterpoint out there. I don't have a problem admitting I'm wrong on anything. If I believe in certain things and someone else provide me something different, I will take the time to read or listen and then decide for myself if that is really the right thing. And I have no problem at all admitting that I'm wrong on certain issues. Not at all. More often than not, I find a lot of people are incapable of saying the three words, I was wrong. Too often. It's one of those weird human traits that even when I was young, I wonder why. I'm sure psychiatrists, psychologists out there would, you know, discuss the issue with ego, and all that stuff. But for me, it's very black and white. But it's not, okay? For me, it is black and white, but I know it is a very gray area for a lot of people, because if it was so black and white, it would be so easy for many people to say, well, I was wrong. Here's a scenario that I wonder how many people would agree with me. There's people out there that believe the earth is flat. I'm sure you have heard of that. What is the odd that we will put or offer free ride to space, because you know how Jeff Bezos and Elon Musk have created vehicle spaceship for people to take a ride into orbit for some fee. But let's say somehow we can afford to give them a free ride. Any flat earther that have been talking about flat earth for years, if not decades, are welcome to have a seat on the next ride into space. And if you got up there and you can look down on earth and see the roundness of the earth, do you think some of these people will still say that's not real? You're trying to fool me. You are digitally putting things on the screen, on the windows. The earth is flat. Somehow I think some flat earther will say that, even if they were in space looking down at the round earth, because that's how people are. There's people that just cannot admit that they are wrong on many things. I can't say that they can admit they're wrong to everything, because I don't know, alright? But when I'm sure many of you have met many people in your life, whether it's your family, or people at work or friends that would disagree with some things regardless of what the facts are, because by admitting whatever it is that you provide them that are factual and truthful, they would have to admit that they were wrong. And for whatever reason, they can't admit that. And I think this is the core of many social dilemma, because a lot of people latch on to principles, beliefs, ideas that are not factual. It's easier for them to go with that narrative that they believe in and ignore whatever truthful or factual that are out there that will counter what they believe in. Okay, it's insane. In many ways, whenever I listen to debates between two people on two sides, sometimes both sides are wrong. Okay, I'm not saying that there's always going to be one side that is correct and the other side is wrong. Sometimes in debates of any issues, you will have both sides being somewhat correct, and vice versa. Sometimes both sides can be somewhat incorrect. All right, so it is gray in many issues, but at the same time, it is also very black and white on many issues. Okay, well, it's easy for some people to say, oh, some issues are very gray, that's why we can't agree. No, there are plenty of issues that are very black and white. We like to insert in the gray that is not even related to make a counter argument, in my opinion. But sadly, that's the core of many social dilemma, and I don't see how people can change. This is how we are. And I think, once again, social media has made it even more difficult, because now in the world that we live in with social media, there are people that rely on the backing of other people to bolster their erroneous view. Some people, even what they say is complete nonsense, but hey, I got thousands of retweets, thousands of likes on my comments. It must be completely truthful. It must be right. Other people is behind me. So social media amplify the problem that we have had for forever. Okay, this is not something that is new, but no doubt social media amplify the way people bolster on their belief that they are right, however wrong they can be. And it just make it tougher and tougher and tougher going forward, I believe, to solve anything. There is very little compromising on anyone willing to listen to opposing view. Now it is more about amplifying your view, because with social media, it's more important to be the louder voice instead of stepping back and say, perhaps I was wrong. It's sad. I don't have the answer, as in every social dilemma. That's why it is a social dilemma. I don't have the answer. Alright, so thank you for watching. Let me know what you think. Bye bye.